Docker host, which is the Docker daemon. Docker daemon will, according to your whatever the commands, will process it, create or pull or create the image or build the image, and thereafter it will put that image into a running container. And once you run the container, that means this image is available for you to access from outside. So the application can be accessed from outside, from your browser, from anywhere. We'll see that. Any question up to this point? So this is the Docker Hub. You are pulling a Docker image, and we have already shown you that this is a container. Okay, container number one. So you have pulled in that image. That image generally is is an operating system. On top of that, you have added. You can go inside that container and install another layer of the software, which is another layer you have added. But these two will combine one image into the container. And then again, you can add one more layer. Let's say you have installed Git. Okay, so image layer after the layer. And again, on top of Git, you have added your source code or whatever. So it is like on the Git, you are putting in your version control, or on the version control, you are storing your source. So this in all is a one image, and that image is put inside the container. So you can say this is a GitHub or a Git container which is having the source code of the developers, and that will be stored as an image inside a container. And whenever you want to run it, so you are able to access, your developers will be able to access the entire version control. So this is one container. Is it clear? So this is the Docker Hub. We were saying about this Docker Hub where you are storing your images. Okay. Then there is the Docker engine. The Docker engine will help, as you know, that is the Docker daemon or Docker server. That will help to execute all the Docker commands like pull, push. Okay. Thereafter, you have the Docker images. We have discussed about what is an image. And then there is container. You cannot have an image. The image is static. It cannot be accessed unless and until you put it inside a container. So the container is the dynamic part of an image. Image and containers cannot exist without each other. They are like husband and wife. Okay, so they do not exist without each other. There is no container which is empty, and there cannot be any image without a container. They have to depend on each other. So next is the Docker volume. So as we discussed, the containers are ephemeral in nature. Ephemeral, you know, ephemeral is temporary. That means you cannot store anything in the container. Container is not a place to store anything other than the images. But images is not sort of a data, it's an object. But the rest of the data cannot be stored in the container. For that, you need the container attached to the Docker volumes. Volumes is nothing but a storage area where you can persist your data. Okay. So for any storage of the containerized or Docker images, the applications which will generate the data, read data, delete data, whatever the data, the things will be there, it will be on the Docker volumes. And finally, you have the Docker file. Docker file is a YAML file, which is like with the help of which you can script. Because when you issue one single Docker command, that is one CLI command, but that is a manual part of doing things. You will club all the Docker commands inside the Docker file in a certain format, in a certain language. So that is called a script file of a Docker. So when you execute the Docker file or build the Docker file, you will get an image inside a container. We will show that in the demo. But up to this point, it is like a script, like the shell script. You have a shell script where you write the Linux commands, which when compiled and executed as a file will execute the line by line from the top to the bottom, all the commands one after the other. Similarly, here also, you think it's a script file where you will have your Docker commands compile one after the other, which will be executed sequentially, one from the top to the bottom. So it's a script file written as a YAML file. We have discussed what is an YAML file earlier. So a Docker file will be used to, uh, build an image, to create an image without having to do it manually one after the other. You give your all the commands to build an image and the thing is done. So we will start the hands-on. But before we start the hands-on, let me see whether you have any questions. If you have any questions, please let me know, because right now we are going to start with our hands-on. Okay? Agreed? I know it will not be, I don't have much luxury of time to discuss too much on the hands-on what I'm trying to do, but at least you can follow the flow of what we are trying to achieve. Can we start now?
Yes, sir.
Good, good. So we have 1 hour, almost 20 minutes. Let's use the entire time for building our Docker images. Let's start that. So I will now use my AWS console. I will try to sign in. Okay, so I have logged into my AWS console. So I am now going to go into my EC2 dashboard. I will check basically my server is already done. So what I will do, I will use that server EC2 instance to install Docker, or Docker I have already installed. So what I will do, this is already, we have built our server. We have done our Terraform, our Ansible over this server. So now I will start up the server, start the instance. Let me remove this. I don't think I have anything, or let it be. So my server is up. EC2 instance is up. This is the public IP address. So what I will do, I have copied it. I will go to my PuTTY. I will use internship. That is a session that has already been done earlier. Okay. I will just have to change my IP address. I can save it and I will open it because all my other things are already done. That is the key pair and everything. So it is there for it can in no time you are there inside the server. So I have also changed the prompt. It was Ansible master, something like that. I've changed it to Docker because this is a Docker session. So first of all, I will check whether I have already installed. I have already installed my Docker engine. Okay, how do you know that? So there are various steps. So on Ubuntu, I have installed Docker. These are the various steps. Very simple installation. There is nothing much. So up to this, I have done. So I will check whether really the Docker is there. Yes, the Docker version is there with the latest version 28.5.2. And I will check whether my Docker engine is already running in the background. That is the Docker daemon. So how do I check? Sudo systemctl status of Docker engine. You can say docker.service or you may simply say Docker. So it is active and running. Okay. So my Docker daemon, Docker service is running as a daemon. So this is the Docker application container engine, which is already starting, which has already started. So with this in mind, so our Docker engine is in place. Our Docker server is there. It is running as a daemon. I need to now use my Docker CLI commands. So what I do, first of all, I will like to check whether is there any containers Docker PS minus A all, whether it is in the running condition or in the exited condition, whether what are the containers, if there are any. I am saying that there are no containers. There are no, this is just the heading. But here I don't find any containers. Is that fine? No containers because I have not yet done any containers. Let me check whether there are Docker images already available. No. The Docker repository is saying that Docker local repository has no images, no image ID. Okay. With this, we start our learning or the demo part. So what we do first is I would like to run this thing and check what it is doing. I will explain you the commands. What I'm saying, the Docker, see, Docker is the CLI command. With Docker, this is the run. This is one command. Docker run interactive terminal minus IT means interactive terminal minus D, which is a daemon, and Ubuntu. So now, can anybody tell me what I'm trying to do? Just a wild guess, because I know I have not taught you all the CLI commands.
Pulling the Ubuntu image and running the.
Sorry, can you repeat again?
Pulling the Ubuntu image and running.
Very good, fantastic. This Ubuntu is the image. This is the image. Now, I am saying, please pull the image Ubuntu from either local or from the Docker hub. Now, this Ubuntu that I just now I have checked that with the Docker images, there are no images in the local. So where will it try to find this image? It will automatically go and try to find it from the Docker hub, that because that is the default Docker repository. And definitely it will get it from the main library, that Ubuntu image. Ubuntu is nothing. This is the lightweight version of the of Ubuntu. It will not have all the libraries and all the binaries, but it will be enough, good enough operating system, lightweight operating system, which can support all your operations. So this is an image, but with the command called run, I am attaching a terminal and making the -d means daemon. -d, minus is for option, is daemon. Daemon is something which can run in the background. Okay, what is that? What is that I'm trying to run? Or basically run means it will also create. What will it going to create with the docker run command? Any idea? Any just wild guess? I said this is an image. That is the hint that I'm giving.
Can you repeat the question?
The question is, with the help of this docker CLI run command, I am attaching a terminal and I am allowing it to run or enabling it to run in the background as a daemon. But what is that? What is that I'm creating?
Container.
Huh?
Container.
Can you repeat?
Container.
Container. Very good. Here I am trying to create a container to host the image Ubuntu. Because the image cannot exist without the container. So here with the run command, I'm actually creating the container, attaching a terminal to it, interactive terminal, so that I can talk to it. I can go inside the container and do things interactively. So that interactive terminal will be attached to the container and I will make the container run in the background as a daemon. But that container cannot run without an image, and that image is the Ubuntu. So can I run and
I have a doubt.
yes.
So sometimes
So
we run docker run like -d only in the background.
-d. Very
Yes.
good question. Yes. So now I am not gone into that because that is not our usual training session. So because that is just a seminar or internship session. So I cannot go into each and every command. But yeah, since you have asked the question, very good question. Just creating a container without an interactive terminal. That means I am creating a container, but I'm not giving it a shape. So the container will be simply, it will be created with that image and then it will go exit. It will exit. It cannot be sustained. It cannot stay running. Followed? It will be created and immediately it will be exited. But with the help of this IT, when I give IT, it will be staying with a shape. It will not be running out. Is that fine?
Got it.
So now you can see that it is not being able to find the image, unable to find the image locally. Ubuntu latest. Latest is the tag. That means whatever the latest version of Ubuntu, it will get it from the Docker hub because it cannot find it locally. So it is pulling it from the library. Library is the Docker hub library. And the image is Ubuntu. So this is trying to get the image. And then that image will be put inside a container. That container I have not given any name. So it will be given a default name, some random name. I will show you. Now, the image Ubuntu has been pulled in to the local repository. So can I check Docker images? Yes. I will see that now the repository has one image called Ubuntu. That is the latest version. And this is the image ID. This was created on the Docker Hub 5 weeks back. The size is this one. Can you believe? Generally, a full-fledged Ubuntu will be 2 or 3 GB in size. Like the Ubuntu that is on the host Ubuntu is of a huge size, more than 3 GB. If you say uname -a, this Ubuntu is the host Ubuntu 24.04. But this is not the image. This was created, or this is also an image, but mine. Amazon machine image that was created and attached to the EC2 instance. But this is a full-fledged. It is almost like size of 3 GB or more than 2 point something GB. But can you see it is only a light version, 78 MB. That is the big advantage. It is still Ubuntu operating system, but it's very, very lightweight. So now anybody can ask me, that is the image. I cannot run the image without a container. So is the container created? Yes. Docker ps -a. You will see that this is the container ID. The container is having this image Ubuntu contained within it, and the image is residing in the bash version, because this Ubuntu is a operating system. It is having a bash environment. Okay, bash shell. So it was created 2 minutes back and it is up and running for 2 minutes. If you did not give IT, it would say it would only be remaining in the it will say status exited. It was created 2 minutes back, but it exited immediately. There are no ports attached, of course, and you see this is just some random name, unruffled, Cody, anything, because I have not created the container with a name. But is that concept clear? So can we say that this container is running this image called Ubuntu inside, and this container is up and running? So if it is up and running, can we get inside the container to check?
Yes.
Yes, of course. So what I will do, Docker exec. This is another CLI command of Docker. With the help of that, I will go inside the container. And what is the container? And what is the environment of the container? Bash. So can you see that it has changed the prompt? It is inside the container. It is no longer in the host. It is inside the container. And this is the container ID. This is the prompt. And can you see it is because the container is owned by root super user. So you do not need to do sudo because you are not a Ubuntu user. The root user do not need to use sudo. We can check a few things. Say ls -lrt. You see, I have not created all these things. Did I create? Did I install any operating system? No, that operating system is already inside the container, and this is the container that I have got inside. Okay, so I'm in a different environment. I'm inside the container. Now, since I'm inside the container, I can do whatever I want. I mean, it is not a full-fledged. So I cannot have a vi abc.sh. The vi command is not found because it is a lightweight container, a lightweight operating system. It does not have all the utilities. As I told you, it does not have all the libraries and all the utilities or binaries because it is not needed. I will only support my applications because my application need an operating system support. And for that, whatever libraries and binaries that is needed is already there. I do not need to have fancy utilities or the things because I'm not going to program inside my container. My container is a place which holds my application as an image. So the minimum support or the environment that is needed is already there. So if I am inside this, can I apt update? I will update the package inside. So all the packages will be refreshed. But it is not happening in the host. It is happening inside the container. Any question? I will come out of this container. How will I come out and where will I come out to? See now I am inside the container which is only having one layer, isn't it? What is that layer? The layer is Ubuntu. Ubuntu is a software or an image that I have pulled from Docker Hub and put inside this container. So that one layer added was this thing, Ubuntu. Fine. I'm exiting. I'm coming out. Where will I come out? Where will I go land up? I will land up into my host environment. I was inside the container environment. Now I have exited, come out. I have come out to my host environment. This is the host operating system. Okay. Any questions up to this point? Okay. I will now, what I will do is I will say Docker. Oh, Docker. Just I will check PS. So this is the running container. I will remove the container. I can stop the container. Stop. Docker stop what? This container. Or you can make the name as well. What I'm saying, I want to stop the running of this container. Docker stop. So this is a CLI command to stop the container. So the container with the image will stop running. Okay. So now I can also, but see, this is, can you see it is not being shown as running because it has stopped. But how will I see it? PS -A, all, whether it's exited or whether it is running. So now it is showing that it has exited. Exit code is 137, 20 seconds back, but it was created 8 minutes ago. But right now it has exited. In the exited status, it was exited 20 seconds back. Everything is there. How can I do it start? So you can say Docker start and give it this one or this one. So it will start. So Docker PS, it will show you, or you can also see it by A. So A means every state, whether it is up or whether it is exited, it will show. Now it is up. You have made it up. You can also, I'm trying to delete this container. I want to remove this container. So RM, I want to force it because it is running. So I can force it. And then I can say that this is my container ID. So this Docker CLI has removed the container. I can run it. I can start it. I can stop it. I can delete it. So now if I say Docker PS -A, it is neither in the running status nor in the exited status because it is already removed. Is that clear? Now, what about the image? I have removed the container. Will the image also be removed? Anyone?
Could you repeat?
Hello?
Could you repeat the question, sir?
What I'm saying, I have removed the container. Okay.
No, it won't. It won't be deleted.
Will the image also be removed?
No, sir.
No. See, the image is an object which has been pulled. Okay, or you may have created yourself. But whatever it is, it's an object, and an object, and you have put that image in the container. The container was ephemeral. I can remove that container. So the container was removed, but that does not remove the image. It is still there. You see that Ubuntu image is still there, though the container, but it is orphaned. It is orphaned. It cannot, you cannot access this static image from outside. So it is still, I want to remove it. So instead of RM, I have to give RMI, remove image Ubuntu. You can give it by name, or you can give it the image ID, whatever, whichever. And can you see there was only one layer? Which layer? The Ubuntu, the image, the operating system layer. That image, that layer was also deleted. So now if I say Docker images, will I see anything? No. So my Docker PS as well as my Docker images, nothing is there. There is no container, there is no image, right? Any questions? Now, coming to our next exercise, I am going to just let me do, and I will tell you what I'm trying to do. I am, first of all, Docker run IT-D. I'm giving it a name, dash name. I'm giving it a name to what? What is this? Name of what?
The container.
Yes, I'm right now, I'm customizing the name of the container. I do not want any random name. Okay. So what I'm doing, I'm trying to create by using Docker run one container. I'm attaching the interactive terminal along with it. And as well as I'm saying that please make this container run in the background as a daemon. Because if you do not make it run in the background, what will it? So it will be running in the front foreground. Okay. Instead of running in the background, it will be running in the foreground. So if you leave this session, if you exit from this session, the container will also go. But if you are running it in the background, even if you have exited from the session and come back, because the server is still running, so you are still going to see that that container running with the same name. Ubuntu, what is this?
Image.
What is this?
Image name.
Image. So basically what I'm saying is, please create a running container by the name this one, attaching with a terminal, which should be running in the daemon as a daemon in the background, having this image Ubuntu. Now this Ubuntu, I just now have removed it from local. So it will again fetch it from the Docker Hub. Yes. So you will see it is pulling from the library, that is the Docker Hub, because it could not find it in locally. And thereafter, it has definitely created this container by the name this. Let me check. First of all, let me check Docker images. Yes, the image Ubuntu has again been repulled. And what about the PS? You see, this is the container ID. This is the name of the container, Ubuntu Apache Internship. Whatever name you have given, this is the name. It is with the image Ubuntu running in the environment bash. 28 seconds ago, it is up and running, but no ports attached. Fine. So what I do now, I will go inside this container. I will go inside the container docker exec -it. I want an interactive terminal to speak with this container. Container ID is this, and environment is bash. So I am inside this container. Now, what I will do, I will install an image. Okay, so I am here. I will say, I will refresh the packages, update apt. Why apt? Because apt is the package manager for Ubuntu. So it is updating to the latest packages available. And after this, what I will do, I will install Apache. Before I install Apache, let me check whether Apache is already there. No, it cannot be. So I'm giving a command. These are the shell commands. dpkg -l list. If you have grep is a Linux command, if you find this particular package, I'm not finding any. Okay, because it has not yet been installed. So I will install it. You see, I'm adding one more layer. Is that correct? What is the first layer of that container, of this container? What is the first layer? Ubuntu. Yes, very good. And now, yeah, Ubuntu. Yes, Ubuntu, because that was the image as the base layer with which the container was created. Now, on top of this, I am installing a software called Apache web server. So apt install Apache 2 -y is that I don't want interactivity. I want non-interactive installation of Apache 2. So see, it is exactly doing what? Installation on top of Ubuntu with the app package manager. Can you see how fantastic? I'm not in my host environment. I'm inside the container. I'm installing a software. I've added one more layer, which is Apache server, Apache web server on top of the base layer called Ubuntu operating system. Is that fine? So right now I have two layers. Do you agree? Now, if I give this command, will I see Apache installed? Yes. You see, earlier, before I have installed, there was nothing. Now it is saying that this is an Apache HTTP server. Okay. Do you agree with me? What we have done? We have installed on top of the base package, which is Ubuntu, one more layer of software called Apache. I will exit from here. Now, if I see Docker images, how many images will you see? Remember, I'm not inside the container.
One image.
One image. One image or two image?
One.
One. Why? Because I only have Ubuntu that was pulled from Docker Hub. But this image, that Ubuntu plus Apache, was created inside the container. So don't I need to create that image from that container into my local repository? Don't you think? So that is what I'm going to do next. So I am going to commit.
Could you please repeat, sir?
Sorry. Can you speak a bit louder? I'm not being able to hear you.
Sorry, sir. Could you please repeat, sir? Like what we are doing? Apache 2.
So the image that I just now built inside the container, which is Ubuntu plus Apache, right? I want to get that image because this is only Ubuntu. This was the first image that I had pulled, but this is not the image that is inside the container. See the Docker PS. this container is having now base image is Ubuntu, with which the container was built. Then I went inside that container, I had put in, or I have installed Apache. Now I want to get or extract that image and put it in my local repository. I want to get that image from the container inside this one, because I have an objective of storing this image in my Docker Hub, in my account. Okay. That is the objective. Is that clear?
Yes.
Yes. So what I will do, I will say another CLI command, docker commit from where? From this container ID. From this container ID, which is running this particular image. And then I'm giving it a name. Let's say I'm giving it a name as Apache Ubuntu Local. I'm just giving, you can give it any name. So what I'm doing, I'm committing from this container an image by the name this, which is basically this one. This one, Ubuntu plus this thing, and putting it in my local repository. Yes. So now if I see Docker images, how many images you will see?
2 images.
1 or 2?
2 images.
2, right?
2
You
images.
said?
2.
Okay.
2.
Yes, you see, this was Ubuntu. Now, right now, I have got extracted that image out of my container and put it or committed inside this local repository by this name, Apache Ubuntu Local. Can you see? This was only Ubuntu 78.1 MB, but now why it is 241 MB?
Maybe it's included Ubuntu images.
It included?
Ubuntu image as well.
Yes, it had not Ubuntu. Ubuntu is there. It is basically, this one is basically Ubuntu base plus this is a combination. So out of which 78.1 MB is Ubuntu, which is this, plus the rest is the size of Apache. Clear? Any doubt?
Got it.
Any doubt?
No, sir.
Yeah. So I now have 2 images. Fantastic, fantastic. So I would like to push it into my Docker Hub. Okay. I will say Docker push this image. I want to push it. Docker push this image that just now I have committed from my container. It is trying to push it. Oh, see, it is going to the Docker IO library to put it under Apache Ubuntu. But this is the official Docker hub. So I do not have I cannot do any writing over this. You are storing something. You do not have any access privilege. Denied. Requested access to the resource is denied. So I cannot put it in my Docker hub. So I need to have an account. And I already have an account in my Docker hub. I already have a Docker hub. So I can sign in. I will sign in. Okay. But I can only have access to that. So what is the problem? The problem is that image, because that image had only the image name, but it does not specify where, in which account I want to store it. So therefore, it tried to store it inside the Docker Hub. It doesn't have any access privilege. So what I do the commit again. So Docker images, there are two images. So this, I cannot put it into my Docker Hub account. I have to create one more image with the proper image name. Let's do it. I will bring that commit command again, but this time I will give it some other name, and Debasis P 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, what is this? This is my Docker Hub account slash, and this is, I'm changing the name a bit so that you can differentiate this. I'm making it remote. Remote bits, I want to store it somewhere else, not locally. So I am committing from the same container, the same image, but now I'm putting this image into this Docker Hub account, which is I have the password for that, and putting it over there. So what I'm generating, I'm committing this in my local repository. I will push it. So that push will now see that this push failed, but this push will be successful because it has the accompanying name for which I have the login details, login ID. So right now it is committing locally. So how many images? Can you tell me? How many images did I create?
3 images.
Now it is 3. Yes. One was the base image Ubuntu earlier. It was from the container local, Ubuntu, Apache Ubuntu local. And here it is Apache Ubuntu remote, but along with my Docker Hub account name ID. See, can you see both are of the same size because that is the same image. Only the nomenclature, the name changes. Any doubt? No.
No, sir.
Next step. See, my Docker container is running. It is up for 14 minutes. Fine, let it run in the background. I will first of all log into my Docker Hub account, Docker login. This is another CLI command. So what it is saying, login succeeded. So the username is Debasis P 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is, I have already used this login earlier. So that's why it already got my name. It was stored somewhere here and it was successfully logged in. Now, if it has successfully logged in, so made a connection to this. Now, this time I'm going to say Docker push. Which image? This one or this one? This one or this one? This one. Because this one always will fail. But this one will be passed because I have already successfully logged into my account. Okay, I will do the push now. Can you see? It is successfully pushing it. Can you see there are 2 pushes? Why 2 pushes? See, it has gone to the Docker Hub under this account. Debasis P 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and with this particular name. So why 2? Because there were 2 layers in that image. One was Ubuntu, one was Apache. Is that fine? So if you had 10 layers, it will push 10 layers as an one image. So how do I verify? Now this has gone from here to there, to my Docker Hub. Let's see. I will go and log into my Docker Hub, sign in. This is my account, Debasis P12345678. And I will say continue. I have my password, so I will say continue. So can you see your image? This was the image, wasn't it? Apache Ubuntu remote. This is the account. This is the repository. This is my account. Docker personal. Okay, this was the image I have stored. Because why do I store it in my repository? Because later on I might be pulling it for some usage. It was stored or pushed 1 minute back as an image. You click on this. You see, I have not given any tag. So this is with the latest version. Tag is the latest version. And there is an image, Linux operating system. Which operating system? Ubuntu. Okay. And if you see all, it is the base image is the OS is Linux. And if you click on this, this is internally because I have created on top of in that environment bash, I have created some added a file, that is I have installed Apache. Okay, so this is the encrypted version of that because I have given one more layer inside. So this is the base layer, and on top of it I have added a layer. So in all, this is the image. Any question? I've stored it, so I can use it afterwards. So what I can do, I can go back and you see Docker images and everything is fine. Now I can remove this. Okay, so what I can do, sorry. What I can do, I can remove this just to show you. Docker rm-f to force it, this one. But where am I removing it from? Am I removing from Docker Hub or from the local?
From the local.
Sorry, will it be RM or RMI?
RM.
RMI, because it's an image. So can you see the two layers have been detached, and then thereafter the image has been deleted. So if you see, if I say Docker images, what you see, that one from local has been deleted. Now, since the advantage is I have already stored my image over here, so can I not pull it? Let's pull it. Very simple. Docker pull, and you give the entire image. What is that image? Yes. So it will be pulling it from this particular Docker Hub account. And now you see it has pulled. So if you check Docker images, this one, it has come back. Right? It has come back. Any question? Any question?
No, sir.
Okay, let me put this image inside a container. Now, what is the container running? Can you give me, now you know the commands. What is the container running? This is the container which is carrying this particular thing, Apache Ubuntu local or whatever. I want to put this one inside this, into another container. I want to create one more container. So can you help me giving me the command?
Yes, sir.
I will put this image. This is the image. So Docker run IT minus D minus name. I want to give it a name like, let's say, Ubuntu Apache local container. I'm giving a big name. Or Ubuntu local only. So just a container. And what is the image? This is the image. Okay. So what I did, I would like to put this image inside this container, running it with a interactive terminal, running it in the background. So another image has been container has been created. This one with this image, right? It is 7 seconds back and it is up and running. So let me go inside this container. So Docker exec minus IT. I will attach a interactive terminal for this container and using bash environment. So you are here inside this, and remember you have installed what? Nginx or Apache?
Apache.
So dp key minus L grep nginx. Will it give you any output?
No.
Nginx is another software. It will not. But if I say Apache 2, if you say just Apache, it will also be fine because it is finding anything starting with Apache. You see, actually the software is Apache 2, is named Apache HTTP servers. So you are using the same image, but only the containers kept on changing. You are creating different containers with the same image. Is that theory now substantiated? Coming to the next one. This is how you do things. Now the last demo for today is, I will do it a bit fast because I may be running out of time. I will exit from here. I will now remove everything. Docker PS. So I will remove Docker RM minus, I will force removal. This one. I'm removing all the containers. And then I will say Docker images. I will remove everything. Docker RMI, this one, or you could have done with the images, image ID. So the various layers have been deleted. Now I will quickly say Docker images. There is none. Docker PS minus A, none. Nothing. Cleaned up everything. Now I will mkdir application. I will go to application. So I've created a directory. I went there. I have nothing in here. I will first create a Docker file. I will explain you while I do this. Vi Docker file. I will just copy paste because there is no point time in typing. So I'll just explain. So there is a Docker file. These are the Docker file commands. This is like a script, Docker script. One command is from. Can you see that everything is in capitals? I will remove this. Okay. From means I'm trying to pull. So the relevant command is docker pull Ubuntu. Instead of writing the CLI command docker pull Ubuntu, Docker file has few inbuilt commands like from, environment, run, add, entry point, env, expose. So from means I'm trying to pull it from Docker Hub or local, the image. So it is pulling that image. Environment, I'm setting the environment like in a Linux environment, you set up the environment variable, TZ, time zone, and the value I have given Asia Kolkata. So it is like the Unix command called export TZ equal to Asia Kolkata. Sorry, this is. Okay. And then I am running run means you are running this command apt update, which is similar to apt update. Run apt install apache 2 -1. So similarly, what I'm doing is I'm first of all getting Ubuntu, I'm installing Apache, and then I'm adding whatever is currently available in that in the host folder, which is application folder. I'm copying everything. Dot means dot, add means adding to this particular, this is called the index page or the web page, the web folder, sorry, web folder of any web server, starting with var www html. So this is the starting page or starting folder of any web server. Now Apache is a web server. So what I did, I copied from the existing folder. What will be the existing folder? The existing folder is the application folder. And what is the file? One file only that you have created is the Docker file with a capital D. So that will be copied over here. This is a folder of the image inside the container. And the entry point. So now so entry point is a command utility. So which is from Docker, which is with the help of this, I am starting up Apache with the command apache ctl -d, that is daemon and not a foreground. So -d foreground. So instead of foreground, this Apache will be running in the background of the container. And similarly, I am trying to create an environment variable by the name, and the value inside this is DevOps tutorial. It is exactly like this. Export name equal to DevOps tutorial. And then I'm enabling the port for the mapping. See, it is inside the container and I want to access my application, which is the Apache web server from outside. So by default, HTTP server, which is Apache, is having which port? What will be the container port for hosting or running Apache? The default port for HTTP is 80. But I cannot access because of security reasons, I cannot access my port 80, the container port from outside. So I am exposing other ports like 81, 82, 83, 84. Okay, so that I can map it to the container port. So I will be accessing it from 81 or 82 or 83 or 84 as I map it. More or less, I cannot go into much details because I do not have much time. So this is a Docker script. It is sort of a YAML script. Now you see which file will be copied with the add command? This file, Docker file. And when you execute this Docker file through some Docker CLI, it will build an image, and that image is nothing but you are creating a container with the help of you are building the image first of all with the help of Ubuntu, and then on top of it you are installing Apache. So the Apache and the Ubuntu. So once you install Apache, immediately the Apache default index.html, there is any web server will have the starting page as index.html. So whenever you invoke that web server through the port mapping, it will be going to the web page. So that index.html will be created, and is that fine? Now, and the next stage is I will have to, this is the thing. I will come to this afterwards. I will build that image from the Docker file. I have to be in the same application in the folder where I have the Docker file with a capital D. I must have it with a capital D because it's a special file, default file for a Docker script file. So I will say that yes, see Docker, I want to build an image from the default directory, that is current directory, with attaching a terminal. I don't want to interact it, so there is no need for interactive terminal, but I have to give it a shape. So I will attach a terminal, and the name of the image will be Ubuntu Apache, whatever that name. I have given some different name. So I will press enter. You see what is happening. Oh, sorry. I should not have given that was for making us understand. So I will take out all this hash comment entry. This is not accepted in YAML. I'm removing them. Okay, I will save it again. See, it is building it according to see, it has run the apt update, apt run, apt install Apache. It has built the it has pulled the from the registry docker.io the Ubuntu image with the latest version. So all these things it has done. But this time I have not done single commands like CLI commands. I have put all the commands inside a Docker file and executed that with the command called build. So what I can expect now? Will it create any container? No.
No.
What it built? It built the image. What was the image name? This one. So how many images can you expect now? Remember, earlier I have removed all the images. One. Very good. And this was used with the Docker file build. This was done. This is the image ID. This is the image name. Now I will put this image into a container. How to do that? You will use the run command, isn't it? Isn't it? We will say Docker IT, Docker run IT -d. I have given it a name, Apache Ubuntu container. And what was the image? Image is Ubuntu Apache build. We'll press enter. Oh, fast. So Docker images. How many images? One. The image I have not, image has been built out of that Docker file. That's fine. But now I will see how many containers. One container. Just now I have built from the image, this one, 21 seconds back. It is up and running for 20 seconds. And there are ports 81 to 84. Remember, we have exposed these ports for mapping. But this has not yet mapped this container, which is having a default port of 80 for the Apache. It has not mapped any one, neither 81 nor 82, 83 or 84. So it does not help me. Why? Because I cannot directly access my container. I can go inside the container and I can see Docker exec minus IT, which container? This container, the newly created container, and bash. I can go ls minus lrt. Fine. So I can go and check for var. You see, cd var, and you will definitely know that under var, remember we have this Apache. Whenever Apache is there, there is a www for the web folder. cd www, and within that there is HTML folder. And you will see that there is Docker file. Where did it copy the Docker file from? From the host application folder. This is, I do not have VI. So I will use cat. Cat command is there, Docker file. So you see, this was the Docker file from Ubuntu, environment TZ and all the stuff. So, but where did this index.html come from? So let me check. This index is rather when you install Apache, this index was created for the Apache homepage. You see, this is the Apache homepage. I will run that, then you will find it. Now, so this is the Apache homepage. And also one thing that I have this one, index.html Docker file. Echo, there was environment variable called tz, echo $tz. What will you get? Asia Kolkata, isn't it? Asia Kolkata, because that is the value that you have stored into this variable, environment variable, using the command called env, right? Another was there was a variable called name. So what will you that? DevOps tutorial, something like, yeah, DevOps tutorial. So everything is working inside the container. My application is running. Oh, your application running? How do you know that? tpkg minus l grep. What is that? Apache. Can you see? So everything is running fine. But can I access with the host? So I will install the curl. I can install anything because I'm inside the container. I'm installing one more layer, curl. Curl is C URL, so character URL. So with the help of this, I can see whether my index page is running. So what I will do, curl HTTP localhost. Localhost means the local server, colon, which port it is running? Apache 80. So it is showing you the page, but in a character format. That's fine. But that means it is running inside the container. I will come out. Okay, exit from the container because I verified whatever was there. I will like to use my curl to check over here. Can it access? Can you tell me whether it will work or not? I mean, what I'm trying to say is that container which is running with a port 80, having Apache, can it access directly from outside? This is outside from the host. I'm not inside the container. I'm in from the external environment. Can I use this? Will it see this one worked inside the container? It worked, but will it work here outside the container externally?
No, it won't.
It won't. Failed because you cannot access the container with the port 80. That is the container port. Did you map it? No, I did not map my exposed port. So what I will do, I will quickly do one thing. I will do Docker run. I will tell you what I'm trying to do. Now, what I'm doing is I'm again running a container, creating one container with an attached terminal, interactive terminal in the background. What with this time I am mapping with a port because this image Ubuntu Apache build has some ports exposed to be used for port mapping. 81, 82, 83, 84. Remember? Expose. So I am using one port 81 to be mapped with port 80. 80 is the container port because I cannot access from outside, from external, the port 80 directly for safety reasons, security reasons. When you learn DevSecOps, that is cyber security, you will know all these tricks. So I have configured one. I'm trying to port map 81 against 80 with creating this container by the different name. I cannot use the same name again. It will be clash. I cannot have two containers with the same name. So I'm giving it some other name, but the same image. So now Docker PS minus A. Fine. So you see this is the second container where you have the port mapping. 81 was mapped to 80 over TCP/IP over TCP. Okay. And you have the ports exposed as 81 to 84. But here you see the difference is in this container, I do not have any particular mapping. But here I have 81. So can I use curl now? Curl
Yes.
HTTP a local host because I'm already inside the server. So 127.0.0.1 will work localhost. But what port 80 will not work because I cannot access directly with 80. That's why I have a mapping with 81. Will it work?
Yes.
Yes. You see, it can now access the index.html page. You see, this is the Apache Ubuntu default. This is in, of course, in a character based. Actually it is displaying the HTML. What about let me go outside. But before that, I would like to copy because I have to access it from outside. So I copied the public IP address for this server. And now I will go and say HTTP this IP address, public IP address of that server, because this is external. I'm not directly on the server, so I cannot use localhost. And can I mention 81? I cannot do 80 because 80 I cannot directly access. I have to do 81. Will it work?
Yes.
It should work. It should give the Apache welcome page. Let's see. Oh, it is not working. What could be the reason?
Security.
Sorry?
Security group. Haven't had
Yes,
it.
fantastic, fantastic. Thank you very much. Security group is not allowing because you have the security group configured for HTTP, which is 80, HTTPS, which is 443, and SSH, which is 22. But do you have 81? Do you have 82? Do you have 83? Do you have 84? No. So it had tried several times, but it could not. The connection timed out. The problem was, I will go to my instance. I will go to my security group. Thank you very much. I will go to the security group for that particular thing. I will go to the edit inbound rules. Can you see? I have, what is that? Y82. So I have 80 for HTTP. I have 443 for HTTPS, 22 for SSH. So with this, I will not be able to connect to 81. So I can do one by one. I can say add rule. I can say 81. Or I can use custom TCP, and I can use this one. That is for all devices, and save the rule. Immediately as I save the rule and now I refresh it, I get the Apache 2 default page because Apache 2 was working. Now I will go and create one more inbound rule, or instead of that, why do I have to do 81, 82, 83, 84? Instead of that, what I can do, I can use all traffic. All traffic. So I am not bothered what is the port, all port, and for all devices, all CIDR blocks, save rules. Okay. Now coming to the next part, what I will do, I will quickly go to my, see, this is the default page. I want my own customized page. Okay, fine. What I will do, I will go there. I will come out of this. Oh, sorry. I will now create, see here, this is only Docker file. So I will customize my index.html. So vi index.html, and I will go over here. I will copy this index.html. Don't worry, this is some customization. Let's say my company has their own default page. So why to display Apache? I do not want Apache to be displayed. I want my company's page. Okay, I have few images, but I am not downloading those images right now into my application folder. So let it be a broken image. That's fine. But anyway, I will see that there is a difference. So here, now I want this index.html needs to, because remember I had this in this Docker file, I have this command, add whatever you have under the current folder, that is the application folder, into this web folder. So that means the default index.html will be overwritten by this customized index.html. That is what I want. So for that, I need to rebuild my image. For this, I want to rebuild my image. So what I will do, I will save this and I will say build. But here I will do build 2 because I cannot have two images of the same name. I'm rebuilding it. because I want this index.html to copied from the host to the container, that folder. So it is building again. It will be fast. Yes, it has done. It has done. So Docker, how many containers will be there running? There is 2 containers. Okay, 2 containers. But how many images? There will be now 2 images. This was the earlier one, and this is the new one. I would like to create one more container, but I cannot use 81. I have to use another one between 81 to 84, between 82 to 84. So let's do that. I want to create a container with that image, right? The new image that I have done. So what I will do, I will copy this one, just change it accordingly. What I will do, I will change. No, not this one, not this one. With the one which is with the port mapping. Yes, this one. I have to change this to, what is the image name? New image, build 2. And I will have to do, I cannot have 2 containers with the same name, so I'm making it container 3. And instead of 81, I have to give anything. I'm giving 84. Okay. Any doubts? So I'm just running it. So you see Docker PS. You now have the container number 3 with a port mapping of 84 versus 80. So now if you say curl HTTP localhost, here it is localhost because, and if you say 84. So see, this is not the Apache page. This is which page? This is your page. Welcome DevOps internship. So this is some customized page, because now if you go inside the container, I do not have time much, so I will not go inside the container. Otherwise, I could have shown you that this was the index.html that has overwritten the Apache HTML. So what we will do, we will go there. I will keep this because this is running on 81. I will just copy this and I will go there. Remember, I have made the security group with all traffic, so I don't have to specifically map it with 84. I will just copy this and make it, instead of 81, I will make it what? 84. Can you see? This is something else. This was the default Apache page, and this is my customized page. Yes, I am seeing the broken images because I have not copied the images. But is the concept clear?
Yes.
So
clear,
let's say, yeah, last bit. I know you are, it's a long session. Last bit, Docker PS. So I am stopping this particular container. Okay, Docker stop this one. So this container, there is only 2 containers. This container has stopped. So will this one, will it work? So let me refresh. It does not work because the container is not there. But will also this not work or work? This one?
Oh.
Did I stop the container with the port 81 mapping?
No, it will still continue to run.
So this will still run. You see, it is running. It is running. Let me stop that one as well. container 2. So this one. See how easy it is to deploy, to start, stop, build. Now you will see this is not going to work. Both of them, this is like unable to connect. This is also unable to connect. Now I will make the Docker start. Okay, now I am here. Will it work? Yes, it will work. Will it work? It will not work. So in the meantime, I go and say Docker start this one. Will it work? Yes, it works. Yeah, it is this much for today. Thank you very much for your patience. I know it was not that easy. It cannot be easy. I do not expect it to be easy, but it must have grown that interest. That is my objective, that you know that you can do, you can play around. It is like a fun. You play with containers. That is what is the level of understanding that you must have. Okay. And that is a that is the foundational backbone, or stepping stone in DevOps, if you understand containerization well. So thank you very much. I will request Subro to stop the streaming. I will stop the recording and sharing. It has been a long session. Sorry for that. Stop the recording. Thank you very much for your patience.
Thank you so much, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you, everyone. On a Saturday afternoon, it is really difficult to concentrate.
I just have a small question.
Yeah,
if you
sure.
just okay. In terms of cost and in terms of scalability, what makes sense to run the images or the pods in the minute that we run them, as opposed to simply using ACR?
That needs a different discussion, because that is totally, yeah, this is the foundation. Docker, the registry that you are talking about and all those stuff, that is that will come with an advanced level of orchestration. But the foundation is still with the containerization, with the Docker. Docker is one technology, but that, like when we go into Kubernetes, so in terms of cost, it will be simpler to implement Docker, but Docker Swarm. But Docker Swarm does not have that much flexibility and that much of features as is there with Kubernetes. Okay, or GitOps. So many things. Therefore, it is very difficult to compare. But because in Kubernetes also you will use the Docker technology.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
Good question. Very good question. So we can leave now. Okay. It is getting a bit night over here in India.
No, fine. Thank you very much, Mr. Debasis.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. We will meet again next weekend. হ্যাঁ, সুব্রত নয়, তাহলে বেরোই। সুব্রত নয়, বেরিয়ে গেলাম।